LeBron and AD kind of carrying things to a victory. Is there anything about that formula, or is that just kind of how things turn out sometimes with the way that they play?
Well, I think, it's in some ways how it turns out. I think we're managing their minutes more early in the game and, willing to, extend them a little bit in the fourth quarter. And, I think that's why you're seeing us separate in the fourth. But, certainly we got to play better than we did tonight, in particular, closing that game once we had that lead. But overall, 4-0 in a trip, can't be unhappy about that.
Yeah, Frank, and this may be tricky to answer early in the season, but any reflections on what it's like having a 4-game trip in these circumstances versus what you would traditionally, and how you saw that play out in games, if at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different dynamic being in the same city for as long as we were in San Antonio and now here in Memphis. And it's a different dynamic playing the same team 2 times in a row. And, I just want to credit our guys, because it's easy to have a letdown, when you're playing a team that wasn't in the playoffs last year, that is missing key guys. And, credit the Grizzlies for playing 2 really hard games, the Spurs as well. But also credit our guys for, playing through all that stuff and, continue to work to get W's. So it is a little bit different.
Dave?
Frank, kind of following along the same lines of what I asked you pregame, we got word from Allison early on tonight that Nina, your trainer, wasn't going to be with you guys on the bench. And what's it like taking that news real time, disseminating it to your team, and maybe not knowing what the next steps that will follow that come with that will be?
Yeah, that's such is life in the pandemic. They have protocols in place to keep us all safe. And, when something's out of place, something like tonight happens, and we all just got to have a roll with it type of mindset. The good news is Nina has cleared protocols and will be able to travel back with us tonight. So, like I said, it's just part of life in the pandemic is there's going to be people, staff, players, coaches, whatever, at any time, pulled from their responsibilities, and we just have to have a next man up type of mindset.
Kyle?
Hey, Frank. Just LeBron's fadeaway shots, the spin away shots at the end there. I think certain maybe metrics tell us that maybe that's not an efficient shot, but when LeBron takes them, how much confidence do you feel in those situations that it's going to find a way in?
I have a lot of confidence in LeBron James in the fourth quarter. I don't really know any other way to say that. I trust him. We coach him to make the right reads and feel the game out and point out things that may be there that I'm sure he's seeing, but just to make sure he's seeing, and that's why he's great. He finds a way to make those elite superhero types of plays. Our focus is on making sure that we don't need those superhero types of plays, to close games out. But sometimes you do, and it's great to know that he can rise to the occasion the way he did.
A couple more, Dan.
Right, kind of not really a basketball question, but there's a ton going on in the world right now. Obviously, a runoff election in Georgia, the police officers in the Blake shooting not being charged. I'm just curious. LeBron has his hands in so many of these different things. Do you ever marvel at his ability to compartmentalize and perform when obviously, there's a ton of stuff that he's interested in that's going on elsewhere in the world?
Yeah, of course. He's obviously one of the most impressive people I've ever been around. And, I think what you just alluded to is one of the ways that makes him special, his ability to compartmentalize, but also to have, an interest and a care factor, in those other types of things going on in the world. And,